This past weekend, we were cleaning out one of our rooms and going through a whole pile of books and magazines that we've been saving over the years. Some to keep, some to recycle, some to share with others. Well, I came across a whole pile of gardening magazines, some of my favorites, of course. They were filled with photos of beautiful gardens and tips on gardening, and it really lifted my soul to see all the colors and the amazing variety of flowers and all the stunning garden layouts that were possible. It really reminds me of God's creation and all its beauty. I find that when I get out into nature, out into my gardens, and I'm out there working with the soil, it really feeds my soul. It brings me peace and a feeling of calm. I feel a sort of communion with the earth. Maybe you felt something similar to that. Well, this time of year, this would be the time when we would be heading to our local nurseries to browse at all the new flowers that are going to be available for the coming season, the things we're going to want to plant in our pots, on our porches and our decks and at our front steps. But we can't go into the stores at this time because of the social distancing. But we can still browse on the internet. The internet is filled with amazing nurseries and garden centers that you can at least look at what is out there. And I have to admit, I've even subscribed to a few newsletters from them so that I will be treated in my inbox to some amazing things that are coming up. Well, one of them that I was looking through, they were talking about some things we could do with kids. This was a number of the nurseries were showing pictures of kids working with the earth. Some of my favorite nurseries, of course, are Vandermeer Nursery, Valley View Gardens, Sheridan Nurseries, and one from across the city was Garden Design, and they were the one especially talking about the kids. At this time of year, I sympathize with parents, grandparents to maybe live with their families as well, trying to find the means to keep kids engaged all day long. Kids are used to being in school at this time of year and having those regularly scheduled breaks of recess. Well, how do you do a recess from home? I loved what one of the people's ideas was. While I was searching, they talked about a garden recess. I just love that. I think that is awesome. An idea of getting out into nature, getting out into the family's garden and getting dirty for a little while. Well, what do you do when you get out there? Well, there's so many ideas on the internet. You can go onto Pinterest and look and just type in those types of things: garden decor, garden whimsy, children in the garden, anything you could possibly think of. And you come up with all these great ideas. Well, one that I found that I thought was just great was a DIY bee hotel. And I thought this was great. What you do is you take a plastic bottle, you cut off the top so that you've got an opening. You then get a paper bag and you cut it into 2.5-inch wide strips by 5 inches long, and then you roll them up around a pencil. They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be all the same. And then you stick them inside the bottle. You want to make sure it's full. Then get yourself a piece of twine or some string and hang it on a tree. Now, this DIY bee hotel is not meant for bees that will produce honey, but it will be a home for some of these little creatures as they come back into our gardens and help to have things to grow and to pollinate. And a beautiful reminder of one part of God's creation right outside our door. I hope you have a garden recess soon.